It's that time. Welcome to Roadmap, how to take 3 listings a week until you're ready for more. Each week, we interview a great agent who is consistently taking 2, 3, 4 listings each week, and we have an exciting guest today. We encourage you to take notes and apply as much of their knowledge as quickly as you can, and then use the copycat principle. Let me introduce my co-host from San Diego, Carly Hathaway. That's carlyhathaway.com. Hi, Carly. How's the real estate business?
Hi, Ran. Hi, everybody. Real estate is good. People are answering their phones, which is a good thing.
That'll work. Before I introduce our guest today, I want to remind everybody that we are also simulcasting the show on the private lead gen group on Facebook. They have 52,000 members, so we have a large audience there today as well. We'll be pausing for a commercial message during the show, so thank you to the lead gen folks. Let's welcome our guest today from Cape Coral and Fort Myers and all through there, Mr. Mike Darda. Hi, Mike Darda. How are you?
Doing great, Ren. Doing great, Carly. Good to see you guys.
Good to see you too, Mike. We are so excited to have you on today.
And it's good to have you back.
Yeah.
Everybody learned a lot, and it's one of our more popular shows that people watch and learn from. And we want to learn. There's a couple secrets we're excited to learn about. It's something like 15 minutes of hot somebodies, and I guess we'll get into that in a minute. What's the goal for this year, Mike?
Team goal is 290.
290, because it's you and your son, and maybe a buyer agent.
And actually, my wife and my son's wife work with us as well, so the 4 of us.
Wow.
Nice. That's fun.
Nice. Wow. That's exciting.
Yeah.
I got to spend some time with you and your wife in Tuscany there.
Yeah, we got out just in time.
I know we all did, didn't we? There we go. Good. Oh, wonderful. Well, good.
Mike, so can we kind of get into your daily routine? I know that's how I like to start, and how, we want to take bits and pieces from, your daily schedule and how important that is for you and your business.
Absolutely. You can probably set your watch by watching what I'm doing at any given point in the day, because it's very structured. So I don't know how detailed you want to get, but generally, doing my role play from 7:30 to 7:45, jump on the phones. We take a little 15-minute break at about 10:15 in the morning just to get together with the team. We cover just, what's going on with our new listings and negotiations with the team at that point, any hot potatoes, and then back on the phones till lunchtime. Take about an hour and a half lunch break, do my personal stuff that I need to get out of the way at that time, and a little bit of admin work. And then usually by 3 o'clock, I'm either out on appointments for the rest of the day, or if not, I'm back on the phones prospecting or calling sellers for price reductions. But the key with that schedule, and by the way, I'm done usually by about 5 o'clock, which this, I think, call will cover a little bit about what may happen after that. But the key is, if you study that schedule, there's not much more than maybe at the most 15 or 20% of my day that's not dollar productive. So all my time is spent generating.
Yeah, to get it all done and several hundred transactions a year and getting it all done by 5 o'clock. I mean, who does that? You do that. It's a wonderful problem.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you start at 7:30 with your role plays. Is there something specific you focus on during role plays?
Yeah, unlike a lot of people, I try to role play with people very close to my market, because we're experiencing similar objection handlers at similar times a year. I'm in the second home market, so I will try to role play with other people that are in second home market areas in Florida, or I might stretch out to some other second home markets up and down the East Coast, just to stay in the same time zone. But I don't get as much out of role playing with somebody, in the Midwest. They're just having different objection handlers in spring than I am.
So you find that everyone kind of has the same objections. So once you can get really good at handling those objections, it's not rocket science.
Yeah, everybody has the same kind of objections, but different markets have them at different times a year, right? So like maybe, where you're at, it's a spring market. Everyone start probably thinking of getting their home on the market for that time of year. in my market, it's a second home market. Everyone's leaving Florida in spring. So that's actually the beginning of a transition in our market to a different clientele.
Mm-hmm. I like it. I like it. And how important is it for you to start your day with role plays?
It's critical for a lot of reasons. Number one is accountability. There's no slime factor. My alarm goes off on my phone at 7:28 because I know my role play partner is going to be calling me at 7:30. I better be in the car on the way to the office, or so it definitely keeps that morning routine tight.
That's good. And it seems like the morning routine is so important for you to just kind of stay on track so that you can end your day at 5 o'clock and feel good about what you've done throughout the day.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what happened to nights and weekends? Isn't that what real pros do? I know it's a dream life and lives in paradise too. Go ahead, Charlie.
And so have you seen, so you say you go on appointments in the afternoon. Have you seen that change at all? Are people wanting to do more phone listing appointments, more Zoom listing appointments? What have you seen change?
If you're referring to like the whole COVID thing, at first I like everybody kind of froze and like, all right, what's the game plan now? How are people going to react? And I actually made the mistake of calling people too cautiously. And the thing we got to about any kind of disaster, whether it's a hurricane or whatever happens in a marketplace that causes people to freeze, you got to realize only some people are freezing. Others have to do something or don't feel affected by it, whatever's going on at all. So if you tackle everyone like they're a victim of what's going on, you're shortchanging yourself. You're going to miss opportunities with people that are ready to act now and looking for someone to help them. So after about a week of really bad results, I said, screw that. I closed the blinds. I just wrote on my notepad every day, business as usual. It's back to normal. So I just went back to my no new scripts, just using every scripts I always have and just acting like nothing's going on. And it's amazing. The appointments and the listings just came flowing right back. There's little different things we had to do, but generally people, I was having probably half the face-to-face appointments I would normally have, but it was still substantial. I was still going on at least 1 or 2 face-to-face appointments a day.
Mm-hmm.
Got one right here this afternoon. I had 3 yesterday. So there are people that are just willing to meet and want me to sell their house. We offer the digital alternative, but that's only when I sense that maybe they're an owner occupant and they're being extra cautious.
Now you have a fair number of sellers that live out of town. Is that correct? Or do you?
Yeah.
So I would think that Zoom appointments are pretty natural for you anyway.
I don't do Zoom appointments. I just do them over the phone.
Gotcha.
But 50% of our listing appointments have always been virtuals, not live.
Gotcha.
So it's nothing new to us. It just slid a little bit more for a while that direction.
So so was it, you weren't like, how do I do this? Because there were like, when this happened for a lot of agents, they were 100% in person. They were like, how do I do this? And at least you were ahead of the game in that regard.
Yeah, exactly. We knew it. We just did more of them virtually, like we would have if they were up in Ohio, right? And they want to sell their home in Florida, so we just treat it the same way.
And there are a bunch of us. Yeah, and, it's kind of fun. We're in the mid-May, and some people will be watching this in June and July, so a lot could change. But when you thought that people weren't doing a lot, they weren't. When you decided it was business as usual, it became business as usual. I mean, if people just embrace the last 5 minutes of conversation and play that 10 times.
I mean, if that doesn't speak to mindset, I don't know what does, right?
I know, that's fantastic.
Yeah. So when you are doing the phone listing appointments, do you use the same script? Do you keep it the same? Do you shorten it? What's different?
Yeah, it's usually much shorter. I've probably sent them something by email ahead of time. So it's pretty much gets right down to price and, handle their pricing objections. If they're, and then if you get close for the signature, if they have objections there, you deal with them just like you would live face to face. And try to get it signed by DocuSign or one of those programs. If they're local and they just don't want to meet, sometimes I just have my runner just, drop the listing off, at their porch and, tell them to sign it, and then we'll come back and pick it up the next morning or something. We've done a lot of those.
I like that. Just drop it off on the front porch, take an Uber driver over to get the signature.
Yeah.
Let's dive into the thing that's gone a little viral. People are like, what is your 15 minutes of hot somebodies? What is
I know. I've been hearing rumors about this. I want to hear about this 15 hot somebodies.
Yeah, that could be taken a lot of different ways, right? We're talking about leads here and the lead follow-up. So actually, because of my rigid schedule, I'm prospecting very heavy, as you know, from 7:45 to noon. And, you do that every day, 5 days a week. And there's just certain people you aren't going to reach because that's not a time slot that they're answering their phone or available. So my coach started getting me to do what we call 15-minute hot somebodies. And that is just exactly what it says, taking 15 minutes to call your hottest leads at times outside your normal schedule. So that might be anytime after, say, 5 o'clock in the evening. You take 15 minutes, you call those hot leads. It may be, it'll be a Saturday or a Sunday, anytime during the day, for example. You're going to catch people you normally don't catch. The caveat there is, of course, if you're catching them at that time, guess when they usually want their listing appointments? About that time too. So you got to be prepared to deal with that a little bit, but it's worth it when you look at the numbers, and I can go through those with you, how that is paid out.
So yeah, what do you think the yield is on that? So, I mean, you're doing it a couple times a week, and then the yield is how much extra business do you think?
Well, so the 15-minute hot somebodies is a 7-day-a-week activity. It's calling, usually for me, new expireds, my hot lead follow-up, and if I still have some time left over, I'll get into for sale by owners and the other people we always call, right? So that's the goal. Catch them while you're not in your normal prospecting time, and you're going to get them at odd times when they're available. So now that'll add about 1 to 3 contacts a day to your contacts.
Mm-hmm.
But my ratios have been adding about 1 to 2 more listing appointments a week. So you do
Holy crow!
Yeah, that's
so
a lot.
For a lot of agents, they could just do that and be rich.
Well, and you can make a living just off of that. Think about it.
15 minutes off. Yeah.
1 appointment a week, that's 4 a month. Let's say that turns into 3 listings taken a month, and let's say two of those sell. That's 24 sales. That's your average commission's $8,000. That's an extra almost $200,000 right there.
I'll take it.
I love it.
And how long do you spend calling, or you're just calling 15 people?
I'm just not 15 people, 15 minutes.
Oh, 15 minutes.
Do
okay.
anything for 15 minutes, right? You can
You're
work
right.
out the treadmill 15 minutes. You can call your mom. You can even save 15% on your car insurance, right? But so you can do it 15 minutes. The hardest part of this is just the discipline to actually, take the time and do it.
Yeah. I like it.
I got a couple pro tips for you on that if you want.
Yes.
So pro tip number 1 is during the weekdays, you either do it before you leave the office, last thing before you leave, or if maybe you're coming home straight from appointments, do it in your driveway in your car for 15 minutes. That way, when you're done, it's out of your mind. You can go, hang out with your family and not be thinking, oh, shoot, I got to do my 15 minutes, right? Mm-hmm. The other pro tip on the weekends is get it out of the way early. I mean, you may have heard the term eat the frog, right? When it's something you don't want to do, like eat the frog, you just do it early and get it over with so you can enjoy the rest of your day. So I'll typically 8, 9 o'clock on a Saturday morning, maybe 10 o'clock on a Sunday, I'll bang out those 15 minutes so that I can go on my boat, have a couple of beers, and not worry about having to do some more prospecting, right?
Yeah, you don't want to carry it around like a ball and chain. So get it done.
As
soon as you think of it, just go do it. Just like Nike
says,
right? Just go do it.
Yeah. And I like how you said it, like you really can do anything for 15 minutes. You really can.
What's really fun is Mr. Mike Darda has a listing appointment, as he has one every half an hour or so. So we're going to have to let him go here in a minute.
Okay.
This is good material. This is strong stuff.
Yes.
Any last thoughts for some of our folks out there?
It's just no. I mean, it's a simple thing to do, but it's a hard thing to do because it takes discipline. And I mean, I can tell you, it's for me, it's a moving away from pain thing. I have to do it and get it over with. I know other people like the great Lee Marcus in Chicago does this 15 minutes at somebodies all the time, and he tells me for him it's a moving towards pleasure activity. He's pulled to do it because he knows it's so productive. It doesn't matter. That's what motivates you as long as you do it.
It's all up here. It's all up here.
I like it.
Somebody who's got mindset figured out.
Yeah, big time.
That's it.
Thanks for letting me on today, Mike, and we really, really appreciate it. I'm sure a lot of people are going to rewatch it many times.
Good. I know I am. If you're watching on Vulcan7, you want to get involved with the Lead Gen Facebook group, they are at facebook.com/groups/got-objections. And finally, if you're watching on Facebook and you're not yet involved with Vulcan7, imagine that. Make sure to sign up at vulcan7.com/leadgen for a special deal. And why does Mike Darda and team, where did they get that mindset from? I'll tell you where they get it from. They go online to graders.com and they find the local store that sells the Graders Mint Chocolate Chip. This is the one for listings and mindset. The other ones like Rocky Road are not about good mindset. Then it's mainly working buyers eating Rocky Road. So make sure to get Graders Mint Chocolate Chip at a store near you. Go to graders.com. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you. Thanks,
See you guys next week.
everybody.
All right, thanks, Rand.
Thanks, Mike Darda. Send your referrals to Mike.